Sports bettors, you need to download Sharps, the better social network. With Sharps mobile app, you can tailor your friends' bets with one click. See a bet you like? Just click the whale tail icon and boom, it will open in your corresponding sportsbook. Sharps securely connects to major sportsbooks like FanDuel, MGM, Caesars, and more, so you can not only track your bets, but share your bets in creative ways. So gather the degens, download Sharps for free, and join our fast-growing sports betting community.
In our next one, we've got the Buffalo Bills going on the road to take on the Philadelphia Eagles.
Man, you know what? Like I've been really hard, I think, on like the Bills and not getting the ball to Khalil Shakur, and then now, this first game with Joe Brady as the offensive coordinator, liked what I saw there. Got Khalil Shakur there on an 81-yarder, nice block there by Kincaid. It was like a little hip check, I think I saw there. So, like I said, he's been catching 88% of the passes thrown to him, and it's like, get the guy more targets. Like, I don't know why they're all of a sudden passing. Like, he's a legit wide receiver, 5th rounder. Still upset that the Bears took Velus Jones over him. Like, that guy needs to be cut or whatever. Like, yesterday. So, and then Khalil Shakur. Like, I liked from what I saw from the combine. I liked what I saw from his college clips and stuff like that. I'm sorry I don't watch all the game film on Boise State wide receivers and such, but yeah, I just liked what I saw from him, and I thought he was very capable, and he really showcased it, I think, last week. This Bills team, they play, I think we mentioned this before, right? They play up to, I think, the level of competition, right? But then they have these lackadaisical moments, it feels like. Obviously, they've had a lot of, I guess, drama just internally, with like Stephon Diggs and kind of his situation there. So all that being said, I know it's the Eagles. I know this team is like ridiculously talented. It's going to be in Philly. I'm going to go with the Bills of the upset here. I think Joe Brady, they got something going on there. I think we're going to keep the momentum going. I was thinking that the Bills have a little bit more urgency, I think, behind them. So maybe there's some sort of, intrinsic motivation behind all those players there. They do have the talent, but I did speak about a regression. That being said, I think this is a moment where it's like, hey, you guys need to be winning, and this is definitely going to be a test. And I think that they'll at least, get this road victory here.
I am with you. I am going with Buffalo as well. After what I saw against the Jets, it looked like they got right. And I mean that in the sense of, with Brady now calling the shots on offense, I like the fact that they emphasized the short pass a lot. They were going to guys for checkdowns all day. It was, let's make sure we don't turn over the ball carelessly. That's what got Josh in trouble, the week prior. It was just finding Dalton Kincaid in that whole first half, short checkdowns. He was getting 10 yards, pretty much a catch. Like you were saying, Shakur had a big game on that big breakaway touchdown, but even guys like Ty Johnson were getting involved, out of the backfield and stuff. It was just nice to see they started to incorporate a lot more balance in that offense. Diggs was pretty much a non-factor, for the game itself. But the things that I actually saw that made me feel a lot better about Diggs was before the game, they showed him basically like hyping up the crowd in Buffalo, like, waving his hands, getting, the crowd energized before the game. Throughout the game, I saw him like joking around, like sitting next to his teammates and stuff. Like, it looked like he was having a good time. And I feel like that's super important. It's so, I think, underrated, maybe not, as featured in, these game-to-game matchups and stuff. Like, his production does matter. It will carry them, but they need him like completely in it and supportive of like what they got going on, because they do have something special there. I believe that. I mean, 6 sacks from the defense and a pick. You're going against Zach Wilson and the Jets, but like, still, man, this defense has been stifling all year. And, for what it's worth on the other end, I mean, Philly obviously has had a great year, but their defense has started to take a step back. I mean, they are almost in the middle of the league now in yards allowed. That clip was a lot, lower, at the beginning of the season. They were much more highly ranked in that respect. I don't know if it's a wave of injuries or just some inefficiencies, some holes are being found in the rushing game. But, if James Cook can continue to, do what he's been doing and Josh can do some bootlegs here and there, I did see him, have a couple design runs for himself. I think this Bills team like wants to get back on track. They know they have a tough schedule. I think they have the disadvantage of tiebreakers right now too. I think that's what I've heard. Like, even if they're in the race for a wild card spot or whatever it could be, like they are down in terms of, if it gets to a tie, their record overall and their matchups and stuff. So like they really have to win football games here. They're going to be motivated like no other. But it will be a tough one. Jalen Hurts, those guys, they always come ready to play. They've been winning a lot more than they've been losing. So we'll see. It's a tough call to make. This one will obviously be close in my book, but I'm going to go with the Bills too.
Yeah, it's just been their whole MO, it feels like, right? Whenever there's like an expectation for them just to obliterate a team, it always feels like they kind of fall short a little bit on there. So, and then now, yeah, against a good team like this, I feel like, all right, now, I think it was nice that they had that showcase game, I think, against the Jets, and then now they're kind of, I think this is where they build off of that victory, carry some momentum, I think, into the playoffs there. And, like I mentioned before, I think they regress, but doesn't necessarily mean that, they're going to be awful, I think, from now to the end, going into the playoffs or in the playoffs. So, but yeah, I think a lot of good things can happen, I think, for the Bills. This definitely is a testing moment. So maybe this is like they're kind of awakening to become, a little bit more. And, I think Josh Allen probably has, he's been tested and has like this moment of like, okay, we got punched. Now what? Right. And we'll see what happens, I think. But, there's a lot of talent there. Joe Brady, yeah, like was the offensive coordinator over there at LSU, Joe Burrow, and like, when they scored a bunch of points there. So definitely kind of knows what he's doing a little bit. And I know, yeah, he didn't have the best moments in Carolina, but I think he has a lot more talent than he did at Carolina here. So, we'll see, I think, what happens. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like this is going to be a good matchup. But yeah, I think we're both in favor here of the Bills. It's a 3.5 point favorite on the spread here. So, but yeah, we're just going to pick, I think, the Bills to win.
Man, that is tough. That is tough because I want the Bills, but I'm assuming it's Philadelphia favored by 3.5.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you just take the winner in Buffalo. But, if the Eagles, I guess, were to be on the winning side of things too, I mean, 3.5 is a tough one. I might go under there.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's like, yeah, if you don't feel too confident, yeah, maybe just go to 3.5.
Gotcha. In our